Hello traders, Rich here and welcome to a new educational video about how to analyze any chart from scratch without using any indicators, just by applying basic price action concepts and market structure 101. We previously did 4 examples, 2 forex pairs, GBPCAD and CADJPY, 1 stock which is Netflix, and the last one was an index US 500. And I promised that the next one would be a crypto. And what's better than the mother of crypto, which is Bitcoin, right? So let's do it. If you haven't watched the previous 4 videos yet, you can find them on YouTube on my channel, or I'll make sure to attach the links in the description below. So let's get started. Cheers. For those who already know me, know that we always start from the higher time frames, from daily and weekly time frames, to know where we stand in the market. Are we overall bullish, bearish, or stuck inside a range, right? If you are overall bullish, we'll be looking for buy setups, bearish, sell setups, and range will be trading the range up and down until eventually the price breaks it upward or downward, right? So we want to know where we stand in the market. And it's a very good example here, right? Because we didn't have a similar example before where the price is going in one direction only. That's why we don't have typical support and resistance. A typical support and resistance is when we have many failed attempts to break above a level, which is a resistance, or a level like this, which is a support, right? We can't see this here because the price keeps on making new all-time highs. So around 2020, this is the previous all-time high. Then price made a new all-time high, and so on, right? That's why the price is going up and up. So in this case, we will go for our round numbers, 1, 2 supply and demand zones, because we don't have typical supply and resistance. The first step is that we draw our round numbers, and round numbers are different for every instrument. For example, in this chart, we can see that Bitcoin is trading between 10K and 60K, while if you open, for example, a different instrument, it may be trading between $0.1, which is and $1, or maybe 100 and 1K. So it depends on the case, it depends on the instruments, and you have to find the strongest round numbers. So here we can obviously know that the strongest round numbers are 10K, 20K, 30K, and so on. Right, so I will not draw the 10K and 20K because it's very, very far from here. I'll start with the 30K and 40K. That's the 30 and that's the 40. And as you can see, right, and I believe you already saw it, it's lining up perfectly with the price. As you can clearly see, the price rejected the 40K, went down, rejected the 30K, went up, then broke the 40K upward. Next, what? We have the 50K. Let me draw it. And then we have the 60K, which is up around here. So the all-time high is now 61.3, I guess, right? Anyway, and of course, the round numbers are also, like support and resistance, are zones and not laser lines. So we should treat this one, for example, like this, and this one, for example, like this, and so on. Right? But I will draw it as a laser level just to make the chart cleaner. So now, just by simply drawing our round numbers, we know that where we stand in the market, are we around a key rejection round number or not? So here's the 60K now, which may act as support, and the 60K around here, the 50K here, and 60 around here was acting as a potential resistance, right? And just like support and resistance, for a level to be broken upward or downward, it has to be broken by a massive candle or 2 small candles. It depends if it's bullish or bearish. It depends if it's a resistance or support, right? So this one was broken here. So this one is now acting as support, and this one is broken here and now acting as support. While this one isn't broken yet, as we don't have 2 small full bullish candles, we only had 1. So around here it was still acting as resistance, and we were looking for sell setups. And I posted one around here about that a potential corrective movement to start, and one around here that a potential impulse might start, and so on, right? And let me give you one more example before we focus on the current price action. Here also we didn't have two big bullish candles, only one small candle as you can see. So it was acting as resistance. We're looking for sell setups. Here we didn't even have any candle close below it. And here it was a very practical example. I made a video about it, that here we only had one big bearish candle closing below it. Then we had many rejections. So this one was still acting as support. And as mentioned previously, it's an entire zone, right? So it's like this. So it was still acting as support, and we were still looking for buy setups. Anyway, let's focus on the current price action, and let's make this one in green to make the chart even cleaner. Then, as I mentioned, we will go over what? The supply and demand zones. So we obviously have a demand zone here, which lines up perfectly with the 40K as well. So this is a very strong area. Was acting as resistance previously, then now broke it upwards, turned into support, also have a demand and the 40K. So it's a very strong area. Next, we have a demand area here as price made what? An aggressive movement upward from it. Great. So now by simply drawing our round numbers and supply and demand zones, we are getting an idea about what might happen next and where the price might find support and resistance, right? Or what we call key rejection areas. Let's take a break. Okay. So now we know that just by simply drawing these ones, that Bitcoin is approaching a very strong area. It's an entire area like this, right? So we'll be looking for buy setups. We will not buy blindly as usual. We wait for extra confirmation from lower time frames. And we can even draw a trend line, for example, like this. So this is a non-horizontal trend line. Bitcoin is now currently trading inside this channel, up, down, and it's currently sitting around our lower trend line, which acts as an overall direction, and in this case acts as a non-horizontal support. So we've got many clues here. This trend line we can keep it or not. It depends on how we would like to see things. Anyway, we can keep it or not, because anyway we're looking for buy setups here since we have the 50K. Unless, as usual, price breaks this one with a massive, like this, massive bearish candle, then you can say that our 50K is broken, now turned into a resistance, and the next support would be this one, which is demand, previous resistance, and we also have the 40K, right? So long story short, we'll be looking for buy setups now to catch the next impulse. So impulse, corrective, impulse, we are currently in the corrective phase. And when we are in an uptrend, we'll be looking for the corrective phase to end to catch what? The next impulse, right? That's what we are looking for, because we're in a corrective, we're looking for buy setups. Corrective, looking for buy setups. Now the exact same thing. We are looking for buy setups to catch the next impulse. Unless it breaks below it, then a movement to this one would be expected, and we'll be looking for buy here. And of course, if price rejects this one, then if it breaks above this 60K with a massive bullish candle or two small bullish candles like this, we'll be looking for buy setups here as well. That's what we know. Now let's zoom into our time frames and look for what, in this case, for potential buy setups, right? So from a microstructure perspective, we know now that we are overall bearish, and we can even see it better from H4 if we zoom in. All right, so let me zoom in. Here we go. We know that, so starting from here, as I posted last time, starting from here, and we can see it even better, and we can even draw a trend line, right? Around this area. So 1, 2, and 3. So when this got broken downward, we know that we are now in a bearish market, right? Since it's around a resistance area, and we also have this strong supply. So this area was a very strong area to expect a rejection from it. Anyway, let me focus on the current price action and give you a practical example, because we all know that it's very easy to just scroll back and see, yes, I would have bought here, I would have sold here, right? So if we zoom in, we can see that we are currently in a bearish market, right? So price is making lower lows and lower highs. So lower high, low, low, lower high now, and we're expecting a lower low. So we are overall bearish. And obviously, yes, because we saw it from daily that we are in a correct phase. So impulse, we are currently in a correct phase, and we are looking for buy setups and to catch the next impulse movement. That's why we are now looking for buy setups, and we can obviously draw this trend line, right? So 1, 2, 3. Let me zoom in and show you this trend line. We can make it up or down because we have a wick here, right? And we can make this one also up or down. What is it? Because we have a wick here, right? So here we go. This is a valid trend line. It's not broken yet. We can even make it lower or higher. As you can see, it's not broken by a candle close. So if we zoom out, here we go. Let me put auto again. And we can even, let me fix it. And that's it. And we can even make an offset. Let's see. Here we go. Right. So we are now inside this channel. We are overall bearish, but we are looking for buy setups to catch the next impulse. And we can even draw this trend line. But anyway, this one is following the recent price action more. So let's leave this one for now to keep the chart clean. And for now, what we know is that Bitcoin is approaching a strong support or rejection area from daily time frame. It's an entire area, so we can even draw it like a big zone for like 48. Okay, right? And if we zoom out, we can see that just what happened previously, Bitcoin can still do like this, right? So break this area downward, then reject, and before going up, right? Because as you can see here, price broke it upward before going down. Right? So price would want to get more liquidity here to be able to push price even higher. So anyway, let me zoom out again and let me show you what I would be personally waiting for. Let's make this one in blue again. That's it. So now we are overall bearish and we'll be waiting for a new swing high to form around our upper trend line to consider it our trigger swing, or what I call a trigger swing, and then we'll enter buy on spike upward. But we can't really know where this one would form. So price, let me delete it and show you an example. So this one can still trade like this and form a new buy setup here, or this one can still trade higher from here or from here exactly. We can't really know where this swing would form, right? But just an idea that we would be waiting for a new swing to form around our upper trend line. Or it can do like this, which is even better, right? Form a new one around the support and giving us a better stop loss and a better risk to reward ratio. And anyway, it depends on you on how you want to trade it. I would personally buy and hold. Right, so I've been buying the dips on Bitcoin since 2017. So I didn't sell here, obviously, right? So I just know that the corrective movement is started, so that I will start to look for new buy setups to add more longs. So it depends on your style. I personally don't like I don't like to trade crypto on margin. I just like to buy and hold. Okay, so that's what I'm personally waiting for on Bitcoin, for it to form a new swing high, and then I will buy on spike upward. And you can even see the exact same thing on Ethereum, right? You will exactly see that we have a support, which is the 1500, right? So 1K 500, and our price is forming like a channel like this. Let me delete it. And yes, basically, that's it on Bitcoin. Of course, if price now dives in an aggressive way, then we'll be looking for new buy setups to form around here. But for now, as the current market conditions, right, we're waiting for this trend line to be valid, and then we'll enter buy on spike upward. And of course, after a momentum candle close below it, candle close above it. Best of luck, and I'll see you on the next one.